Midday News, I'm Chuck Henson in for Holly Gregory. It is Friday, April 19th, and rain is on our radar this hour. Now at noon, we're looking live at Madeira Beach. Those rough waves seen crashing onto the shore, and more bad weather moving through the Bay Area. Our weather experts are tracking the storms moving across the Bay Area. Joining me live now, Chief Meteorologist Mike Clay. Mike, tell us what we can expect for the afternoon. I'm going to join you in there shortly, and we'll have a check on the roadways as well. Yeah,
and I just got some new traffic information in your wheelhouse there, Chuck, that I-75 at Ridge Manor is blocked by a tree. In here now with an update, and so the Skyway, people have already been coming in asking about the Skyway, and we know we're getting guests that are right up there, marginal for it to be open.
And when Julie and I were talking about this morning, is that fine line that the state comes to when they determine that that's what they want to do. Let me pull that camera up for you here. So this is the current conditions of the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. You can clearly see it's open. Mike's talking about some of those gustier winds. Generally, if we get a sustained wind around the 30-mile-an-hour range, that's when the Florida Highway Patrol is going to put the kibosh on this bridge. Of course, they give us plenty of notice before that happens. I will absolutely let you know if that's the case. Now, this is the section of roadway that Mike was talking about in Hernando County, where US 98, it's essentially State Road 50 in Brooksville with an issue there. Now, right now, as far as the data coming back from that spot, everything looks okay. I do see some north end of the Howard Franklin Bridge delays. One other quick thing I want to mention, once these winds pick up, the south end of the Howard Franklin Bridge tends to be very gusty. Those winds up and over the barrier walls onto the lanes themselves. We'll be watching that as well. Right now, we're checking on Clearwater Beach. Now, despite the warnings of severe weather, there are people at the beach. We see swimmers where the Pier 60 Sugar Sand Festival is now closed due to this weather. Officials there tell us they've decided to close the festival at noon, which is right now, for the safety of visitors and volunteers. Now, don't worry, that fun will return. Once the storm moves on out, we'll let you know when the Sugar Sand Festival will pick back up. Turning to Tampa now, the weather is also going to have an impact on Busch Gardens Food and Wine Festival. Our Virginia Johnson found out what will change for tonight.
So our food and wine Saturday and Sunday, which is supposed to be really nice weather.
The park debuting their new Tigress roller coaster to the public today, but bad weather could put a damper on that as well. Be sure to keep it right here for any new updates. Some new information into our Spectrum Bay News 9 studio. NOAA's National Hurricane Center upgraded Hurricane Michael to a Category 5 hurricane at the time it made landfall in the Panhandle. The report determined Michael's intensity at landfall was 140 knots at 160 miles per hour. The final wind intensity of 5 miles per hour put the storm over the edge into a Category 5 storm. Hurricane Michael made landfall on October 10th last year near Mexico Beach and Tyndall Air Force Base. Continuing coverage, big news for the Bay Area. The former general manager of the Tampa Bay Lightning is returning to the Red Wings. Steve Yzerman will take over as general manager in Detroit, but the Lightning will only confirm that he will be a part of a press conference. Yzerman spent his entire 22-year NHL playing career with the Red Wings. He won 3 Stanley Cups while serving as the team captain from 1986 until his retirement. He was general manager of the Lightning since 2010 before stepping down in September and moving to a senior advisory position. Now, earlier, the Red Wings sent out this tweet. They say there will be a press conference at 3 p.m. and we will keep you updated. Our Spectrum Sports 360 team is all over this story. On this Good Friday, worshipers will return to Notre Dame for services, except this year they're gathering outside of the burned cathedral. A somber celebration moving into the Easter holiday. Our Omar Jimenez joins us now from Paris to show us how, despite the devastation, Catholics have not lost faith.
I'm Omar Jimenez.
We are now taking you live to Tampa, a live look at Ray's Fish Camp, where the owner is opening his heart to Paris by donating 50% of his Good Friday profits to help rebuild Notre Dame. Our Fallon Silcox caught up with him earlier. He told us why he decided to do it.
It's just the right thing. I just felt like it was the right thing to do.
And if you want to come out to Big Ray's Fish Camp today, they're open from 11 to 9 tonight. A portion of those profits will, from the entire day, will be donated. Right now, Hillsborough County Fire Rescue is investigating what caused this fire at a church in Brandon. We can tell you that it is out, but not without some injuries. Fire started last night at New Testament Church. It's in the 900 block of Dew Bloom Road. Now, we brought you this as breaking news last night, and Spectrum Bay News 9's Dahlia Dangerfield is there on scene with a first-hand look at the aftermath.
Well, this fellowship hall, I'm on scene in Brandon, Dahlia Dangerfield, Spectrum Bay News 9.
It is 12:09, and before we get to our weather on the 9's forecast, remember, you can watch Spectrum Bay News 9 on your iPad, iPhone, and select Android devices just by downloading the Spectrum Bay News 9 app. Head over to baynews9.com/watch live to get that on your device. All right, right now an alert, the Sunshine Skyway Bridge is in process of being closed. We just got that into our assignment desk. Now you're looking live at one of our real-time traffic cams powered by the DOT of the Skyway. You can clearly still see traffic on it. The process to close the bridge, once they make the announcement that they're going to close the bridge, takes quite some time. Troopers have to be staged on every entrance and exit ramp on either side. They'll close one side and then the other, and we'll of course keep an eye on that. So right now, the Florida Highway Patrol has announced that they are in process of closing the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. And right now, Chief Meteorologist Mike Clay joins me for more on our weather. Mike, we were considering this was certainly a possibility.
Yeah, we saw at the top of the hour it was gusting to 49 in downtown St. Pete. And that's right at the surface. So, you know, up on the Skyway, that is very true, Chuck, and we'll be watching that camera for the rest of the afternoon. We're also getting reports of some coastal flooding, and we